Hello Year 9, I'm going to talk about malaria. Malaria is an example of a disease caused by a protist, so we need to understand how it's caused, how it's spread, and then how we can prevent the spread of that as a disease. So what I'll do is I'll put this slide onto class charts so that you can click the links and watch these two little videos. Malaria is quite a common disease in sort of tropical areas. It's not present in the UK. And it is spread by mosquitoes. Okay, so it's mosquitoes that will actually spread it. Now, the mosquito has to bite somebody that has malaria before it can actually pass it on. It's not the mosquitoes that have malaria. It is passed through effectively blood-to-blood contact. So the mosquito will bite somebody that has malaria, and then it will go off and bite someone else. And that protist, that tiny microorganism, is passed between the people by the mosquito. Okay, so the mosquito is spreading it from person to person. Now, it can be fatal if it isn't diagnosed and treated properly, so we need to be very careful. And it is a very important killer in a lot of countries. We don't have it in the UK, but it is a huge problem in other countries. So in terms of treatment, if it's treated quickly, then most people will make a full recovery from it. So you need to be treated as soon as you start, as soon as you have the diagnosis, as soon as it's recognised that you've got malaria, you will be treated, and the chances are that you will get better. And then you can also take anti-malarial medications. So if you are travelling somewhere that is an area that has malaria, then you can have tablets that you can take that will try and prevent you from getting it in the first place. Okay, so that's an important thing if you're travelling to malarial areas. So in terms of preventing it, okay, we need to find out if you're travelling to somewhere where there is a risk, or if you know that you live in a country where you're at risk. Okay, so actually being aware of the fact that there is malaria present is important. Preventing being bitten by mosquitoes is a big idea in terms of preventing the spread of malaria. So if you are in a tropical country where malaria is present or common, then you would use mosquito repellent. So you would spray that or rub that onto any sort of open skin on your body, so that would prevent bites. It might be that you would also sleep under a mosquito net, so that will prevent you being bitten at night. And taking anti-malaria tablets is also useful if you are travelling somewhere. It's really important that you get the right ones. You have to get them from the doctor, that you get the right malarial tablets for the right area that you are travelling to, and that you finish the course. So you must take all of them. Now that might mean that you continue taking them even when you return home from your travel. And then the other thing is recognising what the symptoms are. So if you develop malaria symptoms for when you get back off your holidays, while you're on your holidays, it can take as long as a year to actually show itself. But as soon as you get any sort of malaria symptoms, then you need to go and see your doctor, because it can come up much later after you've returned from your holiday. Now, your task is to produce an information leaflet. Okay, so if you're thinking of travelling to a country where malaria is a problem, so parts of Africa, parts of South America, those sorts of countries, you need to explain what the symptoms are. Okay, so how people would recognise if they've caught it. Explain how malaria is spread. Okay, so explain a little bit about the mosquitoes and the protists, because that's what we're thinking about. How we can prevent it, and then how we can treat it. So that's your task about malaria.